Hello dear friends, welcome to another episode of the weekly vlog. And in this weekly vlog I want to talk to you about one very important aspect of our life. It is the key to self-mastery, and generally it is the key to mastery. One very important aspect that plays the biggest role if you want to arrive to master something, to become excellent in anything. Stay tuned and I will talk to you about this immediately. So, what is this element, this key that can help us to arrive where we want to go, to excel in something, to arrive to our destination, to master the thing that we want to achieve in our life? Generally, the majority of people cannot arrive where they want because they cannot pass this kind of tests in the path of manifesting the dream or mastering anything that they want, because we want to achieve many things in a great level, but then actually always in our life something is stopping us, and in the end of our life we'll find ourselves in a mediocre level, yes? And the majority of people are living their life in this kind of mediocre level. Why this happens? This happens because there is one key that the people do not understand. It is not a big secret. Everybody somehow knows this, but we cannot understand how important it is. The emphasis that we put in this is not understood. So what is this secret? Generally, in order to pass from where you are to another level, some process has to happen inside of you. A maturity process, let's say. And I will tell you how I discovered this key also, first time in my life. So this maturity process, in order to happen to you, there is a point in this process that happens a transformation of your being, of your mind, of your perception, of some part of you, a transition from point A to point B. So something in you has to shift. Maybe it is your emotions, maybe it is your understanding, maybe it is the way you perceive things, maybe it is your energetic level. Something has to move from A to B. In order for this to happen, you need to pay attention and concentrate to become aware of how this transition from A to B happens. If you will not realize how the transition from A to B happens, actually you cannot do this transition, because you will be overriding this transition and you will be doing it superficially, and then the result will be a little bit sloppy and you will never actually get to the point of you moving to another level, because you will be trying to move to another level, but you will be passing around this process. You will be doing it in a fast or sloppy way without really managing to make this key transition in the middle of the process. And I told you, this process happens in some level of your being all the time. It can be in your mind, it can be in your body, it can be in your feelings and so on. So I will tell you a small example. The first time in my life that I understood this key was when I was a kid, like 8 years old, and I was learning to play piano actually, and my parents had put me to learn to play piano, and then in some moment in this school that I was learning to play piano, they put me to have a small concert. Actually I would participate in a small concert and play like a piece in the piano, a musical piece, and this piece was a little bit more difficult than the usual pieces that I was studying. I was in the second year of learning, and I had like 1 month approximately to learn it, and I started learning it, and I saw that it was very difficult. So I realized that in order for me to play this piece, musical piece in the piano, this classical piece, I have to become actually much better than I was, and this I have to do it in 1 month. I had to pass to another level in piano, and this was very difficult for me, because usually I had this kind of transition, for example, during 1 year. Yes, I could remember that I was much better than the previous year, but now I had to do the same evolutionary process in 1 month. So I started practicing as I would always practice. So I would put the piece and I would start playing it all from the beginning to the end. And then in the middle of the piece, it was many points that they were difficult. And I could not play them well. I was making mistakes, my fingers were not so flexible, I could not just do it. So I would pass this part, play the next part which was more easy, feel good about myself, yeah, I'm doing it well. Then it was one transition, for example, that I had to do again difficult, I couldn't do it, it was sloppy, like, you know, not harmonious. And then I would pass it, go to the next part of the piece that I could play it more easy and so on. So I repeat this process again and again and again and again. So after like 2 weeks practicing a lot, I thought to myself like this: I'm practicing already 2 weeks, I practice many hours, but still I cannot become better. So I don't think I will make it. And then I asked my teacher what to do. I said, I don't think I will be able to play it because I'm playing the song, I have played the song like 100 times already 2 weeks, and it is the same. I make the same mistakes exactly the same way, and I see that it's for me very difficult. I will not be able to change my flexibility of my fingers and my neurological connections with my hands to be able to actually make this kind of difficult points. And my teacher told me then, look, you have to take this difficult point, which is like 8 notes in a row, difficult notes, how to play it, and try to go to play the first note only. If you will manage to play the first note, then try to add the second note. And practice only passing the first and second note. Then when you will do this, the third, and so on. Don't try to play it all together. So I did it. I sit in the piano, I arrived to this first difficult point, and then I saw that I had to make one transition, for example, from my finger from this position to put one finger over the other and then the other. So I had to, and then it was more difficult points. So I said, okay, let's try to learn only the first part. So I was playing 3-4 notes before that, and then try to make the first transition. And I tried this again and again and again and again and again. And actually, to my surprise, after 10-20 times of doing this only first movement, I got to learn how to do this first movement, to put my finger over the other. So I was happy. But this was just one movement out of 8 consecutive movements that I had to learn. Then, after doing the first, I put the second one. So I started playing the piece few notes before, do the first movement that I could do, and then try to do the second movement. Now, because I knew the first, the only thing I had to overcome is the transition between the first that I already learned and the second. And then I repeat this again and again and again 20 times, and then I managed to make the second movement. And now I could do two difficult movements of my fingers, I could do it. And then I had 6 more in a row. But then I focused in the next only. I practiced only the transition between the second and the third, and so on and so on and so on. And in this way, breaking this process of 8 difficult notes into one by one and master one by one this process, I managed in like 1 hour to actually play this difficult. When I was trying to do it at once, repeating the whole thing again and again, it was impossible. But when I broke it into very small pieces and I focused very much into the small parts of all this 8 notes transition, I managed to do it. So in this moment I realized that the key to make a transition is you have to focus in the smaller elements of the process that leads you to transform yourself and move to the next level. Because in everything that you do in your life, if you want to pass an obstacle, the obstacle you can always split it into some parts that it is made of. For example, if you want to go and talk to somebody and it is very difficult for you to talk to this person, let's say you want to meet your boss and talk about a raise. You can break this process into different parts and practice and master each part one by one. How you will enter, how you will introduce yourself, how you will prepare the meeting, what you will say before, when exactly you will say about the raise, and what you will promise after. You can break the whole thing into pieces, for example, and then try to master one by one. When you will be mastering one piece, and it will be easy for you, you will feel that you own it, then you can pass to the second. Of course, maybe you'll say, oh my God, this process is very tiring and so detailed and so to break everything down. Yes, it may look like tiring, but actually it is the only way and it is the best way to achieve a transformation. If you will try to do the whole meeting to play it in your mind at once, you'll see that it has many difficult steps actually, and because there are many difficult steps, you feel that you cannot manage all of them. And you cannot manage all of them at once. Your mind, your consciousness, for example, is not ready to overcome 8 obstacles at once, one after the other. Yes? But if you will learn to overcome one obstacle, then the other obstacle, then the other obstacle, and master each obstacle one by one, then you will make it. Every year we go to Olympus Mountain, as I said also to the previous video, weekly vlog. So if somebody will think in the beginning what he's going to do for 7 days up and down the mountains and so on, he will be overwhelmed. He will say, I cannot do it. It's impossible for me to hike 5 or 7 days and do all these difficult things. But if you will break the whole retreat, the whole pilgrimage into the components, for example, one part is the hiking, one part is the nutrition, the food that you have to prepare, one part is what you are going to learn, one part is the rituals that you're going to do there, one part is for example, we do the so-called shamanic death, which is a ritual for transformation. So if you will put all the components of this retreat one by one, and you will focus on each one, and you will be seeing what is the point, the essence of each of these parts, then you will be able to see it differently, and you will be excited because you will have in your consciousness all separately and all together all these parts that this process contains. So this is the key if you want to pass from A to B. Let's say that, for example, you have an emotional challenge. Let's say your relationship suffers and you have an emotional challenge. So you can break this challenge, how it manifests in your life, how it starts and how it finishes. You can break it into its components. And then you can take the first component, the first difficult emotional component, and try to master this. Let's say that it is difficult for you emotionally to approach a man or a woman and flirt with them. Okay, you can break this difficult emotional process for you from the moment that you spot somebody that you want to talk to him until the moment you are actually talking to him. You can break it into small pieces, not just to break it into pieces, but in order to become able to understand what is the emotional difficulty in each step, because you feel the whole emotional difficulty. For you, seeing a woman or a man that you like, and then approach him or her and talk to him and actually manage to say something nice. So you feel the whole difficulty inside of you and you are overwhelmed. You say, oh my God, it's very difficult for me. But if you would break this emotional difficulty in small steps, emotional steps, for example, what is the difficulty when you are thinking about it emotionally? What is the difficulty when you will take the decision to approach? What your mind is telling you, what negative will happen? Then when you start walking, how you feel towards this person? What is the emotional difficulty in this? Then when you will be looking at this person coming close, and if this person will look at you back, what is the emotional difficulty in this moment? What do you feel? When you will start talking, what is the emotional difficulty in this moment? For example, you will feel that you are stupid and you will say something stupid in this moment, and so on and so on, and you will work with every one step, then you put them together, but you have to work in every step in this sense that you will master every step, not just work with them. When you will be sure, as I was playing the piano, that now I know how to move to the next note, difficult note, then I put the next difficult note. When I will master this difficult note, then I put the next. So always you have to win one little step, you understand? So you will not move to the next step until you are sure that you mastered the previous one. And this is the way actually to make a transition and transformation that for you is very, very difficult. Break it into the components, focus very much to understand what components it is made of. Yes, you have to put there the concentration, because the mind resists and says, oh, I don't want, it's meticulous work and I want everything to be free and easy. Yes, it will become free and easy because also I'm telling you, when I studied this piece like this, then it became suddenly easy. After 1 hour I could play the difficult part and I said, oh my God, how did I do that? Right? Because, and then I was very happy. So this is the way also for you to arrive, you can achieve like this anything. You can make any transition to a next level like this. So take this advice. You can put the comments below if you didn't understand something. I will try to answer you. Break every process into smaller steps and then master each little step. This is my advice in this weekly vlog, how to make a transition to a next level in anything in your life. Take this advice and you will not regret it. It is going to help you. And this is the secret of mastery. In this way you can master a musical organ, an art, a behavioral thing, learn something difficult, develop your mind, develop yourself, personal development. Everything works in the same way. This is why I created the WOW Academy and the World of Wisdom and Spiritual Adventure, to teach you these keys of manifestation, these keys of progress, these keys of personal growth for everything that you want, because today the majority of people suffer because they cannot achieve their dreams. They are struggling in their life, they are filled of stress because nobody is teaching them actually the actual process of learning, the actual processes of evolution, the actual processes of growth. We are just overwhelmed with what we have to do, the end result only, and that's all. So I will put a link in the description down about the WOW Academy and also the Academy for Spiritual Guides and Therapists. We are having new academies all the time. We are teaching the secrets. If you want to learn, if you want to take your life in your own hands, if you want to make steps forward in your life, to become powerful, you need to learn these secrets. I will be waiting for you in our academies. And if you want more videos like this, that I'm sharing some of the secrets that I learned in these 20 plus years of personal growth and personal evolution, like the video, subscribe to the channel, because this helps me to release more videos. It helps the algorithm of YouTube to help me to create more content for you also and for other people. So I will appreciate if you do this. And anyway, I appreciate you that you are watching this video until the end, and I will see you in the next weekly vlog. My blessings and all my wishes for you to live the best life that is coming to you in the future. Namaste, and talk to you in the next video. Stay hungry for knowledge and transformation. Bye bye.